Right. All right, must I start? You think I can start? I've got no idea how many people are actually due to join us tonight. Do you have any idea, Joss? None.
No, Stacey didn't send me the updated registered list.
Okay, I'm going to start. Will you admit people for me, please? Right, so I'd like to say welcome to this month's very special animal talk, the horse talk, and I'm your presenter, Tracy Simpson, and I'm a second level animal aromatherapist who trained under the world-renowned essential oil vet, Dr. Janet Rourke. And if you look her up on the emails, you can actually look her up. I still attend classes every Wednesday morning with her as an alumni. So sometimes when you ask me questions, I might actually say to you, I don't know the answer, but I certainly will ask Dr. Rourke what I can do to assist you with your animals. My oily friend, Joss van der Walt, graciously asked me to do this talk for you. And for that, I actually thank her. Thank you, Joss. Right, what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about the 5 Chinese elements so that you can decide what type of animal you are and what type of animal you are working with. It's a lot of fun, and please ask your questions if you would like to. And even your children can be placed in the animal elements. Okay. Sorry, this is going a bit faster than I don't know how to get it to do this. Sorry, give me a second. Okay. I'm going to go through as well the horse types of the Chinese elements and how to use your doTERRA essential oils with your horse. And then afterwards, you're welcome to ask questions. This is going to be a fun and interactive course talk, and you're welcome to ask questions, please. All right. Knowing what element you are and what you are dealing with will certainly assist you with how to best handle the animal. What do I mean by this? If you are a get up and go wood type who likes a lot of action, which you're going to learn about it shortly, you will be very frustrated if you are the stay at home earth type and you've got this wood type that you are dealing with. It's lots of fun to actually see how to keep everybody happy. Remember, however, that this is a circle, and one element feeds the other, and all the spokes of the circle have to be in harmony with each other. Water nourishes wood, and wood feeds fire flames. The ashes of the fire become the earth, and the earth creates metal in its bowels. Then metal leaches into water to enrich it, and so it goes on. But if there's an excess of any of this, the one will deplete the other. Fire raises forest and exhausts the wood supply while drying up all the water. So you need everything to be in harmony to have a little of every spoke in all of us. Sorry, let's go through the 5 elements in detail and see which one is typically you, your family. And in the family, I actually include your animals and your horses and all that type of thing as well. The first one we're going to talk about is the wood. This is the adventurer. Now, the adventurer is impatient and they're waiting at the door. Every morning when you wake up, they're waiting at the door, ready to go. They're always ready. And they love to be challenged and are very adventurous. Give them a challenge and they'll do their utmost to be the best at it. They like to have freedom to make choices. They are very, very stubborn. They never quite seem to relax. But if they are out of balance, they will literally trip over themselves because they're so focused on where they want to be emotionally and physically, and they end up becoming an absolute dithering mess on the floor when they are out of focus. That is your wood type. And their oils that they like to use are bergamot. Why do I say bergamot? I'm trying to get it. Because it gives them confidence when they're on the floor depressed, and it helps them to release some of their OCD. It also helps the wood person to love. I'm sorry if I say wooden person. I don't mean wooden person. I actually just mean the wood person in this case. The other oils that they like is I'm not getting there. You know what? I'm going to actually change this. I'm sorry, guys. You're actually going to see everything that I'm saying because it's going to make it a lot easier for you to all hear what I'm talking about. Set up slideshow, browser, presenter view. There we go. Okay. Then let's go to presenter view because that'll make it easier. Okay. Chamomile is also their oil. It makes them more peaceful and calm, and it helps to sorry guys, I'm just trying to, there we go up there, there we go. Chamomile makes them more peaceful and calm. It helps to release the anxious feelings that they often get. The next one is helichrysum. Now, this is one of my favorite oils, and anybody who knows me knows that I like helichrysum. Helichrysum will help by encouraging them when they are feeling very helpless. It's also, whilst helichrysum helps to heal flesh wounds, it also helps to heal a wounded heart. So don't ever put helichrysum down as just that it's going to fix your flesh wound. It's also going to fix your heart. And it's a very encouraging type of oil. The next one is that I'd like to talk about is the wood horse, the actual horse. This is your race horse. It has a job to do, and it's a challenge. It's so confident and competitive, and he will do his absolute best to win. He will also enjoy the running part of racing. The typical appearance is very muscular, square physique, and lean. Very sinewy limbs and almost feel tense. When you feel them, they feel very tense. They do not like synthetics, which is why you always give a wood horse doTERRA oils because they are 100% pure. Be very careful with other oils. The next one we're going to talk about is fire. This is definitely the entertainer. They love being the center of attention, and they're always looking for that connection with their audience or anybody. They are always very friendly and very demonstrative to actually get it. They love being in the limelight, and they love the excitement and emotional drama. They're the drama queens. Sometimes they're shy at first, but once they get going, they'll show you what they're worth. If they're out of balance, however, they can get a sort of nervous hysteria and become over agitated. This can be triggered by being left alone. This is your one that likes to be always in a group with everybody. Once the fire has burned out of them, they can become despondent and rely on others for their sense of identity. This one is actually my daughter. She just melts if she's alone. She needs somebody to always be there and talking about it. The oils for the fire one are neroli for their commitment and to keep them calm. If they are conflicted, then this is the oil to reach for them. Your escape artist can always do with some neroli diffused in their stable because it'll help to keep them more cooperative and keep them more in your stable. So remember that That's not only the horse, it's also the various people in that. And of course, rose is the drama queen's oil because it's the most expensive oil that we actually produce. It is the oil to make them feel loved and accepted, especially if they feel wounded or brokenhearted. It actually is the best oil for helping with abandonment issues. So if you are bringing a horse in that has been abandoned or abused or any way like that, it's a nice idea to actually diffuse rose oil within their stable. And then the last one there for them is ginger. If they feel that they've been the victim, um, they will be very withdrawn. And put your ginger in there, and they feel more. They feel like they're getting their independence back. If they're stuck and can't seem to dance for you, then give them ginger. It will definitely help to give them a purpose in life. The fire horse is the diva or the princess. She loves to make you happy or to please you. They are sensitive souls, but very friendly and affectionate. The look at me horse, such as the Lipizzaners, they have very finicky tummies. Because you know what it's like when you, as a human, eat something and that's the one that causes your outbreaks and things like that. The horse that is a fire horse does not like to have any blemishes on her. She wants to be completely clear. And that's why they always tend to have this very finicky tummy. They're willowy to look at with long, graceful necks and limbs. That's what I wish I could be. I'd love to be a fire horse. Okay, and they move very gracefully and very, very lightly. Now, this is me. I am the earth horse, the peacemaker. Earth is in the kitchen, making sure that everyone is fed and watered. I like to be sure that everybody's happy. So long as everybody's happy around me, I'm happy. They are the mom of the world, although that doesn't mean that they have to be the female version. It can also be the male version. They exude an air of calm and grounded aura and do not take kindly to changes. So if you suddenly told me, like Joss did last night, that the meeting was actually not last night and tonight, I went into a big panic. And then I had to go through the whole thing again today and feel a bit more relaxed about doing the talk with you. They like routine. It makes them feel secure and stable. The best for them is to feel needed, and they like everyone to move harmoniously together. Their oils are fennel. When it's used around an earth animal, it helps to ease the feeling of anxiety. When you're suddenly going to change something, you should have told me, Joss. I would have diffused fennel, and then I would have relaxed back down and not stressed so much. Okay, because it promotes the feeling of peace and well-being. Calm earth. Okay, and then lemon. Why do you think the earth personality has got lemon? Because lemon is your cleaning oil. It's the one that you can use to go clean your surfaces and that type of thing. That's why a lemon horse, an earth horse, always likes lemon. Right. The actual earth horse is a great horse for beginners. It's your plod along horse, the one that does fabulously with kids and seems to get down to their level. They're amazing with disabled children and knows that they're special and needs special care from them. Always respectful. This is the horse that wants to go with the flow. Like I said, we like to just keep everybody happy. Um, to look at. They have a rounded physique. Just look at me. Okay. They're well muscled and broad. They move rhythmically and are heavy footed. We tend to be very heavy footed. So when we walk flat footed like that. We don't walk lightly like your fire horse. Rather square headed and they tend to have small feet. My feet are size 4, so that's just to give you an idea of how small their feet can actually be. This next one is one that took me a long time to actually get used to. Okay, this is the metal. It's the idealist. They don't like being in the front, but they also don't like being behind, at the back. They will be right behind the leader normally. They love order and are very strict on what is right and wrong. If you overstep your boundaries with the metal personality, be prepared to feel their wrath. I promise you, they are the hardest people to actually get to come back to you if you've overstepped your boundaries with them. Okay, they do, they're always fair and they will let you give your side of the story, but boy, oh boy, it better be the right side of the story. Don't just go make up a story for them. They don't like that. They'll soon let you know if they feel that you've been more affectionate to their playmates, and they actually diss you. I know this because my son is actually metal, and it was quite amazing when I was reading through these years ago when I first started studying. All right, and their favorite oils is eucalyptus. Eucalyptus might help if I could say it. Um, it makes them feel more willing to try and gives them more clarity of what's going on. Cypress is the other oil because it helps them with their flexibility. Metal is very stiff and it's very stiff backed, and they do not bend easily. But if you diffuse cypress, they will actually melt a little bit. Don't ever expect them to fall over like the earth personality. This is the metal personality. And it helps them, cypress helps them to be more trusting and adaptable, which is quite important when you see what the next one says, because this is your metal horse. This is your working horse, the ranch horse. It loves to go out to work and do his work and then come home and be in his stall and leave him there. He's happy to actually be in his stall all by himself. He's thinking about what he did. They seem to prefer solitude when they're not working. They're polite, but don't go thinking you can hug them because they want to be loved, but they'll hold you at a distance. They will hold you there. And if you go love a metal personality person, they actually sort of stand straight up. As soon as you go to hug them, it's like, oh, don't hug me. I don't want to be hugged. They really like to do their job. Their physical appearance is neat, trim, and slightly angular with very delicate features. They're compact, so they working horses, so they're very compact. They are, if the one word I would use for them is they are very, very economical, the horses that are metal. The last one I'm going to talk about is the philosopher, which is the water horse, the water personality. This element is the thinker. It stays on the side of the philosopher. They will be the one sitting in the corner, contemplating their surroundings. They're very, very sensitive. And if you put them in a loud area, they'd rather take flight than sit and argue with you. They don't trust very, very easily, but once they gain your trust, it's actually amazing. I'm actually going to go and tell you about my water dog. He hated, and I'm the animal aromatherapist, but he hated essential oils. If I got out that brown bottle, that dog was standing at the top of the garden barking at me. But he had a problem with his ears, and I started using the oils to clean his ears and things like that. Let me tell you, he learned very quickly that those oils help that ear infection. So now he lies there and lets me put any essential oil on I want, except for lavender. That's the one he just does not like. So once you've got their trust, they are your friend for life, I promise you. Cedarwood is one of their oils of choice. Why? Because it helps with the inverted brackets, the antisocial behavior. It makes them feel more connected with the outside world. It makes them feel that they belong. It's another oil that you could actually use when you adopt a new animal into your house, is cedarwood. And then the other one is mandarin. Diffused, it makes them feel open to new things. I don't know if any of you have ever diffused wild orange in your homes or anything like that, but that is very uplifting oil. And so is mandarin. Mandarin is also a citrus oil. It's uplifting and brings them out of their real or imaginary fears. Juniper berry is the other one. It gives them the feeling of courage and helps them with a peaceful night's sleep. If you have somebody who does not like lavender, like George, that's the dog, then put juniper berry in your diffuser. It's a very nice oil to actually help you with that. Right. And your water horse thinks so much about things that when they have made up their minds that they're going to do something, they're very, very strong-willed about their decision. Don't ever put a beginner on a water horse. They need someone who is just as strong-willed as them and is a capable rider or a confident rider. They will check you out for ages before they decide if they can trust you or not. The typical water horse has a sculptured face and they're strong and dense with a lean physique, with long flowing tails, and that's where your water comes in because they seem to have this long flowing tail. And they have very deep melting eyes. You know, one of those when you look into their eyes, boy, oh boy, you just melt into them. That's the one that I mean. Right. That was just a bit of fun to guide you through the different types of horses that you get and the different types of personalities you get. What I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to talk about the doTERRA oils. Okay, I originally thought I was doing this course yesterday, and that was doTERRA's 15th birthday. So happy birthday, doTERRA, for yesterday when I thought I was doing the talk. Okay, you may ask, why am I so passionate about doTERRA oils? And that's simply because they are 100% pure. Do you know that you only need 1% of an essential oil in a bottle to declare it 100% pure? This is one time that I beg you to actually look at the labels of oils that you find in the grocery store. You will see lots of fillers and adulterations to these oils. However, with doTERRA, you just have to look at the label and you only have the Latin names of the oils that are in your bottle. They do also put in brackets what the name is, like lavender, that we get to know about. They are so happy to share the purity of the oils with you that they even put a batch number on the bottom of their oils, so that you can go and to a site called Source to You, and you can find out when your oil was harvested, which farm it came from, etc., which year it was that it was produced, and that type of thing. There are no additives to their bottles of essential oils. This is the main reason that almost all of the single oils can be taken internally. There are 3 or 4 that cannot be taken internally. One of them is wintergreen. A second one is deep blue, but that's not a single oil. I'll think of them in a minute and I'll tell you what oils cannot be taken internally. With the blends, always check that all the oils that are in the blend can actually be taken internally. They also do this Helping Hands Foundation. The Helping Hands Foundation is where doTERRA will actually go into a field where, for example, lavender is produced, and they'll go into the country where it's produced, and they will look and see what the area, the farming area needs, and they will offer needs to the people and the means to actually give them needs. For example, maybe they need schooling or something, schools or something like that. doTERRA, with their helping hands, actually go in and build the schools and give them the money to build the schools, thereby helping, because then their children, the farmers' children, can go to the school, and while the farmer is out in the fields. And then we also have the co-impact sourcing. So doTERRA do not actually own any farms. They go to the farms and offer to help the people and teach them how to actually use the how to grow the crop in a better way so that they get a better yield. And they then their deal is that they have to then sell that product to doTERRA, cutting out the middleman. So you don't have somebody coming and saying, "Oh, here's my bunch of lavender. Would you like to buy it?" They've paid 20 Rand from the farmer, and now they get selling it to you for 30 Rand. So that already means that you have to put it at 40 Rand. So it's very, very interesting to see how doTERRA actually work. Now, the ways to use the essential oils within the stable, you can use them aromatically in a diffuser. Now, I've suggested here that the pilot diffuser, as it's a portable diffuser, but you can also use your plugged-in diffuser if you want to, in the stables and, of course, in your homes. And any of the oils that are around you will go onto the coat of the animal and also into the animal when they're breathing in. If you have an outside horse, I did have one. I don't know if the lady's on here, and I hope she doesn't mind, but I had one where the lady said, "But we don't have stables for the horses." They were looking after their horses and that. So all you have to do then is put a scarf around the horse with the essential oil sprayed on that you want the horse to have. And they will also get it as a diffusion, if I can put it that way. Topically, not all essential oils have to be diluted for horses. Please note, I did say for horses because of their size. But if you put an oil in a carrier oil, it helps to spread the essential oil over a larger area. That's why sometimes it's I say to you, put just 2 drops in a carrier oil. It's because you can use that oil to actually spread it throughout the whole horse. Sorry, spread it over the whole horse. All right. It doesn't dilute the oil, it just makes a little go a long way. The good news here is with horses that you can use deep blue. And why do I say that when it's only horses you can use it? If you put oils on horses, they're not like your cat and your dog that sit there and lick themselves and make themselves perfect and that type of thing. So for horses, you can actually use the deep blue oil, the deep blue rub, when they have got muscular issues. You can add the oils internally as well, and you can add it to their feeds or give them a treat with the oils dipped into them, dripped into them. And the next slide I'm going to show you is a recipe to make the treat pockets, which you can add essential oil to it for the horses. Okay, you can also, use these treats for dogs as well. It doesn't matter if they get them. I don't use the old-fashioned oats when I'm making it for the dogs. I don't have horses, I will be honest with you. I do go to people who have horses, so don't feel that I'm giving you false information here. Okay, for the dogs, you can use the quick cooking oats in this recipe. I've also run out of all-purpose flour before and used bread flour. You can also use whole wheat flour, that type of thing. Don't feel that it's got to be exactly as it says here. I don't add the essential oils before baking, as the heat can sometimes cause the oil to lose its benefit. That's why I say add them once they have cooled off. This way, you're sure that all the horses are getting their fair amount of oils. The other thing you can do is make these for dogs and put the oils onto them and then give the dog the treat. The dog thinks it's just wonderful. It's only four items that you need out of your stationery cupboard. Oh, stationery cupboard, listen to me, out of your kitchen cupboard. And the one that I really like is the apple sauce. Just to give you a word of advice here, don't go and buy the bottle of applesauce. Go to the baby section and buy the applesauce for babies. And you can use it here as well to make up half a cup. That's just a little hint that I've learned all the way along. And then the other one, because I was asked for this one, to share this recipe with you due to the outbreak of African horse sickness that's happening around the horses. What you do, you make up this little spray bottle. It's a 500 ml spray bottle. Please always try and use glass. I know some of you don't like using glass within the stables, but then use your like your Tupperware type spray bottles, that type of thing, because it hasn't got the dangerous leeches in the cheaper bottles. Spray all over the horse, paying special attention to the ear area. I've actually finished my talk, but if there are any questions, please feel free to ask them. If you are too shy to ask here, please reach out to the person who invited you to the talk and they will advise you, or they will ask me and I will then advise you that way. Also chat to them about any of the doTERRA oils. Are there any questions? I see there's something in the chat there. I wasn't looking at the chat. How many drops of oil do you recommend to diffuse in the stable and for how long? Okay, Marty, that's a very good question. So because of the size of horses, you can actually put into one of our kettle diffusers, you can put up to 10 drops of oil in the diffuser and use it on intermittent. The stables are normally enough that they can actually move around, so you don't have to worry about the fact that with the smaller animals, we always say make sure that they can get out, but with the animals in the stable, they can move around and they don't normally get affected by the essential oils. But you can use up to 10 drops of any of the essential oils in the diffuser. Right. If anybody would like to unmute themselves and ask a particular question, please go right ahead and do that.
Hi, Tracy.
Hello.
Hi. Can I have, or do you know what we can use for mock on horses' feet?
What's another word for mock?
It's fungus growing on the feet of the horses.
On the hoof. Okay. All right. There, what you do is you use your it's an orange bottle. On guard. Sorry, I was completely blown away then. Okay, it's your on guard. One of the best things to actually use is the on guard concentrate, the cleaner concentrate that we have. You put that into a 2 drops of that into a 500 ml bottle, shake it and spray onto their feet and then clean their feet very well with they always say a microfiber cloth and to clean it out that way. And the other one you can do, if they are in pain with it, put some copaiba drops in there as well. But the On Guard, if you don't have the On Guard cleaner concentrate, what you can do is put 5 drops of On Guard in there and a natural dishwashing
Castile
liquid
soap or Castile
into
soap.
there. Or Castile soap. Castile soap is almost too gentle for horses in their hoof area. So there, I would actually say put a natural dishwashing liquid in there.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
All right, you're welcome. Anybody else? Thanks, Anna. Anything else?
Tracy,
Yes.
thank you. That was so entertaining, like interesting to me. I've never seen all those elements. There's two other questions in the chat. The one is
Okay.
just about how do we present the oil to the horse, getting them to
Okay.
choose their oil. And then the second question there was, if we're giving it internally, if you're putting it in the treats or you're putting it in the feed, how much do you use?
Okay. There you use. Let me give the first one. How do you present the oils to a horse? Carefully. Let me warn you, with horses, please be very careful and hold on to your oils. I'm just going to grab one here. Right, so I've got blue tansy here. For example, when you offer an oil to a horse to check whether or not it likes the oil, keep the lid on and you offer it to the horse like this. Please, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if there's any gentlemen on here, hold on to that bottle, because if the horse likes the oil, which one of my oils, I've just got to find it. There was one that I gave to a horse and it just grabbed the whole bottle and was just about gone before I could get it back. So please be very careful. What you do is you hold the bottle to their nose. Hold it a little away from them because they've got much better smelling options than you have. And they will then smell the horse. Smell the oil. Watch their ears. Their ears are a big giveaway as to whether they like that oil. They will actually turn their head away, or the ears will go back. You know, in the flight position, they go back. I don't like that oil. So then you try the next oil. For example, lavender, Roman chamomile, vetiver. Those are 3 calming oils. You can see which one the actual horse wants by the way it brings its ears forward. If it brings its ears forward and it's like looking at that oil, then that's the one that you want to actually give to them. The other question that was asked was how many drops of oil. So if you have got a diluted oil, you can give them up to 5 drops. If it is not a diluted oil, you can actually give them up to 10 drops if it's diluted. If it's not a diluted oil, then give them just 5 drops. Remember that they're a lot bigger than us. So you can actually give them 5 drops. So you can put in a fractionated coconut oil and that type of thing. But if you're just giving them a On Guard or something like that, 1 drop into the treat and in their mouth, 1 drop into a carrot that you've hooked out, 1 drop into the carrot, and they will actually eat it for you. Right. Any other questions? How many drops of oil do you recommend to diffuse in the stable? How many drops to give an intern? Give the size of the horse. So that's why I said you can give 2-3 drops neat if you want to. If the horse will take it, you must also remember that some of the oils are very hot, such as I'm just going to give an example of cinnamon. It's a very hot oil. Don't rather dilute a cinnamon rather than just giving a plain drop on a treat. Rather dilute it and then give it to the horse. They will prefer that a lot. Again, you can give them peppermint. You can give them just about any oil. they normally take those oils a lot better. If I create a spray for bugs or cuts, does it have a shelf life or will it last a while? It will, Marty, it will last quite a long time. Our essential oils, because of them being so pure, it will last a long time if you put a carrier oil to it. But if you use water in the oils, please always use distilled water because that will keep it longer. It will be a lot longer before it starts developing that green stuff, mold and that type of stuff. I've got the wrong word there. Come on, I need some help. What's the word? Before it starts breaking it down. There we go. All right. What can you recommend for a horse that is anxious? Definitely lavender, but one of the things that they say about lavender, if you are showing your horse, you have to be very careful which area you're showing your horse in, because they believe that lavender is now I want to put it on there, witch's potion for horses. So make sure that if you are showing your horse and you want to keep them calm, then make sure that you've got lavender diffused in their stable, in their carrier. Make sure that they've got it diffused there, but don't give it to them internally. That's apparently a very big thing in the horse world, that they don't always want lavender in the horses. It's something that has been found. I don't know why they would think that it's like a steroid or something like that to make them better. So be very aware of taking your horse to a show if they don't want lavender in that horse. Oh, sorry. Would mandarin work for an anxious horse? Mandarin will give them a pickup. It's not for anxiousness. So I would use either lavender, vetiver, vetiver or copaiba. Those are your calming oils. Your Roman chamomile as well can also go in there for them. I wouldn't use mandarin, Marissa, because that's a pick-me-up, but it's a pick-me-up as I was like down and out, and now I need to suddenly start running around. Okay. Yep. What would you... Okay. Any other questions, ladies and gentlemen? Are there any gentlemen? Yeah, we've got one gentleman. He's still inside, Joss. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to say thank you very much for taking your time. Please reach out to your the person who's invited you to this course, and I will help anybody with their animals. Anybody can tell you that. I will help you with your horse, your rat. I've even helped, believe it or not, with our essential oils. I have helped a bearded dragon. Okay, so I do know what I'm talking about with the oil and animals. I'm maybe not that good with people, but I'm very good with the animals and their essential oils. Right. Joss, do you want to stop the recording?